What's up, guys? I'm GamerMD83 and today we're gonna analyze The Witcher Netflix official teaser. So in the beginning we see Geralt getting the looks that Geralt gets because he's a Witcher. Those are just the looks that Witchers get. People see them as mutants and they look down on them. They do not like Witchers. In this scene I think Geralt is fighting the Striga. The Witcher is the very first story in The Last Wish. If you don't know if you should read The Witcher, just read that story and you will get hooked. Geralt goes to fight the Striga in this crypt. It seems like it could be a crypt because there's like this pole to hold a candle, the one he whacks the Striga with, boxes that look like coffins almost. So I'm guessing it's the crypt. We get a good look at the medallion here. Some people were saying in the video where I talked about the pictures that were released like a few weeks before the teaser. I said I prefer how it looks like in the games, and people thought I was talking about how the Netflix series is based off the games. I know it's not. I've said it since the beginning. It's based off the books. This is an interpretation that Netflix is doing of the medallion because there is never any specific way that the medallion looks in the books. I mean, Geralt goes through 3 medallions. I think a lot of people were confused with this scene because I've been reading some comments of people saying, I don't like how the Scoia'tael look. Mostly because the guy that's talking over it is talking about the elves. I don't think the Scoia'tael are in this teaser. In my opinion, these people are the Dryads from the Brokilon Forest. Ciri gets lost in Sword of Destiny in the Brokilon Forest and is found by the Dryads. The Dryads are a race of females that live in the forest. They have olive-colored hair. They're usually in dreadlocks. They're like women of the forest. They were born to nature. It's a very dangerous forest. People do not go even on the outskirts of the Brokilon Forest because they do get killed by the Dryads. The Dryads do not like humans. This group of Dryads have found Ciri and they take her to their leader, to the queen of the forest called Ethne. She plays a huge role for Geralt and Ciri and their destiny. Ciri really has this moment of understanding that Geralt is her destiny. So Yennefer has a spell on her. She casted a spell on her when she was very young because she was what people would call a hag. She had a hunchback. She felt ugly. And the woman next to her is Tissaia de Vries. Tissaia was the woman that basically took Yennefer under her wing. Tissaia was obsessed with the way that she looked, with appearances. So because of Tissaia, Yennefer gets this spell to make her look beautiful. Tissaia is the one that helps her with that. She's also a member of the chapter of the gift and art. That, on the left, is Gorsvelen, a walled city in Temeria. And that bridge leads to the Isle of Thanet. That's where there is the academy to train young female sorceresses. There are 3 parts to this huge tower. There is the very base, which is Loxia, which is like a place where visitors go to. Usually visitors don't go to the higher levels. Aretuza, which is above that, which is the academy, and then at the very top it's Garstand, which is the palace. I think Ciri is in a vision. She goes into these stances. She has no idea what's happening. Sometimes her voice changes. That is Sintra burning. That is the coat of arms of Sintra. This is where Ciri lives, or this is where Calantha, Ciri's grandmother, lives, and her mother used to live. On the shield of those dead soldiers in this scene, it looks like the coat of arms of Lyria and Rivia. They're showing that Nilfgaard is attacking. So Nilfgaard were the ones that burned Sintra. Nilfgaard were the ones that attacked Lyria and Rivia. So I think this is just a scene that shows that Nilfgaard attacked this stagecoach, and it's like, well, how do you know that it was Nilfgaard? There was a symbol left here. That symbol is a sun. The emblem of Nilfgaard is a sun. You do see that Geralt doesn't have his 2 swords, which is a thing in the book where he has both swords, the steel and the silver sword. Maybe it's really hard for the actor to move around with two swords, or to use two swords. Maybe it was impractical. We do see a picture of Geralt on Roach, where he has, I believe, his steel sword on his back and his silver sword on Roach. Geralt always has to be ready, and if he has to fight a monster, he has to have his silver sword on him and not on Roach. That's not a huge thing, but it would have been cool to see him with both. In the books, is they see somebody with two swords and they're like, that's a Witcher. That's Triss. I haven't really reacted to Triss. We've seen her just because we know that Anna Schafer plays her. I mean, she's fine. I think she looks cool. She's got like little freckles and stuff, so I was like, okay, well, she looks fun and kind of like Triss is, that older sister to Ciri. Geralt's getting paid for some monster. We hear Geralt.
It's all it needs to be.
Talking to Triss. You also see his eyes. This is directly from the books. I've said this, that, Geralt doesn't have cat eyes. His eyes become cat-like when he takes potions. That is Queen Calanthe, the Queen of Sintra. I believe the guy beside her is possibly King Aist, and the girl beside her is Ciri. The person kneeling could be Mousak. Queen Calanthe sends Mousak to kill Geralt because of the promise that he had made with Ciri's parents, with her father Dunny and her mother Pavita, the child surprise, where he's like, if I do this for you, you promise me your child. They take the child in to train them as a Witcher. Calanthe told Mousak, you gotta go kill Geralt because I do not want to give Ciri away. But then Calanthe later, she called it off and said, don't kill him. For those of you that have played the games and haven't read the books, Mousak is Ermion. That's Mousak. That, holy crap. This scene, they completely went to the past. That is Pavita. That is Ciri's mother. Pavita was a source. So she was like Ciri, where she has those crazy powers. There was a ball that Geralt attended with Pavita and Calanthe, Queen Calanthe. And he meets Mousak and everything. Pavita wanted to get married with the man she loved, Dunny. But Dunny had a curse that you would see the curse manifest at midnight. There were suitors that wanted to marry Pavita because she was the princess. That's Geralt right there flying back, because in one of those scenes, Pavita goes crazy because they're gonna kill Dunny. All of the suitors start to attack because they see Dunny turn into this monster. Geralt and Mousak fighting to protect Dunny. I believe that's Yennefer after her spell, and she's got the obsidian star that she has on her neck. That's Queen Calanthe, Ciri's grandmother. Here Geralt's gonna fight with some foes. That scene where she says, I can't do this without you.
I can't do this without you.
Her voice sounds distorted. When Ciri and Pavita, her mother, would get really distressed, their source power would react. Her power is probably starting to manifest. That girl, I think, is Yennefer. Geralt and the girls, right? He's in an orgy, what looks like an orgy. Yennefer crying out, Geralt doing one of his signs. Probably Ard. The woman with the electricity, I thought it was Yennefer. It's not, it's just Tissaia. And then the symbol at the end, it's Ciri's sparrow, Geralt's wolf, and Yennefer's obsidian star. The monster at the end, there's no real way that we can know what it is exactly, but I think it's a Kikimora. Kikimoras are very insect-like, they're very spider-like. They also hang around swamps. The arachnomorphs hang around caves and stuff like that, and they use spider webs a lot. Geralt with the black eyes. I'm not hating. I'm just saying he looks like Legolas. I kind of wish it was a more intense look, more veins and just I don't know who it was in the books. One of the characters says that he needs to be like something about how ugly he needs to be and scary looking he needs to be to go up against monsters. Constantly there was a describing Geralt as hideous, like they say his hideous smile. So I kind of wish they had made him a little bit more scary, because it's true. He goes up against monsters, and for monsters to kind of be threatened by him, he needs to be a threat. It seems like this first season of The Witcher Netflix is going to really be focused on the short stories in Last Wish and in Sword of Destiny. Those two books, the Sword of Destiny and Last Wish, oof, they're so good. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.